Before our return trip to the US, some of our friends were really worried. They asked, "Are you sure you will be allowed back in? With all these immigration policy changes, won't they give you trouble at the airport?" Though we are US citizens, their concerns made us pause for a moment. We even double-checked our documents just to be sure. It made us wonder, are people really getting stopped at the border? Had anything changed that we were not aware of? Today, we shall share our experience returning to the US as Nigerian Americans after 5 week stay in Nigeria. Welcome to Cash Talk for Immigrants. My name remains Christine, and as usual, I'm here with my beloved
Wachuku, Vidal Wachuku. Now, our first port of reentry was O'Hare International Airport, Chicago. As we stepped forward before a CBP officer, he asked where we were coming from.
Abuja, Nigeria, we said, handing over our US passports. I held my breath, praying he will not pop any dreaded questions.
For some reason, I was very calm, actually. I did not even lose a heartbeat at all. Anyways, instead, he just asked if it was a vacation, and Christine responded,
"Oh, that we visited our eldest daughter who just had her first baby."
"Oh, congratulations," he said with a smile while scanning our passports.
"Thank you," we replied. He took our photos, then he returned the passport and asked if we had up to 10,000 US dollars on us.
Smiling, I answered. I said, "Oh, we would have spent it all if we had any such amount upon us, of course."
He agreed with him and then bade us farewell. Oh, that was easy. I was relieved.
I guess we are the one that was more relieved, because honestly, I did not feel anything. I was kind of a little bit confident that we were on very firm grounds.
Yeah, but because of all the noise we had been hearing, so I was like, okay, maybe is there anything we are missing or something?
Okay. Anyways, while we were waiting at the luggage carousel, one of the officers, the CBP officers, approached me. And Christine was in the restroom at this time.
Yes, and as I returned, I saw the officer talking with my husband, and my heart sank. Because I was already I said to myself,
something could go wrong.
Okay, maybe I rejoiced too early. What will possibly be wrong right now? I quickened my step towards them, feeling a wave of anxiety. But as I got to them, the officer was about leaving. So Vida then turned to tell me what was going on.
He had actually asked to see my passport. I was taken aback and surprised by that, and asked him why, as no one had ever asked me for my passport while waiting for our luggage. Oh, he said, it was just a random check. Of course, being who I am, I asked him, have you singled me out because of the color of my skin? And he quickly said no, and that he had actually asked others before me. I then handed him my passport, and after looking it over,
he asked us if we were given a custom declaration form. So he said yes. Then he took it and he wrote RA on it and instructed us to present it at checkpoint number 1 on our way out. And for me, I was already like, RA, what does that mean? I was already apprehensive.
So because we weren't sure what it meant, we just assumed, okay, it might stand for random assessment. However, there were no other issues or further questions about our reentry at this point. The only additional process was clearing some food items we brought in.
And that's a whole different conversation. If you often wonder what food items you can bring in or cannot bring into the US, stay tuned. We'll cover that in another video. YouTube tells us that 86% of you watching right now are not subscribed. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the Sensible Tribe. It really helps us reach more people who need this information. Thank you.
Come on, share some love. Subscribe. Now, with the current policy changes regarding African immigrants, many people worry about re-entry, just as she worried so much. Some fear being sent to secondary inspection, while others have heard stories of travelers being held up for hours. But if you have proper documentation, there's no need to panic. You saw how ours went so smoothly. Just go prepared and confident when you are answering the questions.
However, one thing we couldn't confirm was whether green card holders or permanent residents need to fill out any unique forms. The general rule of thumb that we know is that green card holders should not stay outside the U.S. for more than 6 months at a stretch, at a time. So adhering strictly to this may make re-entry easier.
Because staying outside the U.S. for more than 1 year, particularly if you stretch it to 1 year without a re-entry permit, may result in you losing your permanent resident status. So if you plan to be away for an extended period, applying for a re-entry permit before leaving will help to maintain your residence.
Also, if you're traveling for a long time, be aware that officers may ask for proof that you still have strong ties to the U.S., such as a home, a job, or even family.
And in fact, that you intend to return to the U.S.
Yes.
You have to show that they will ask you those questions. So if you have traveled on a green card recently, let us know in the comment section what your experience was like. Did you face any delays or questions at the border? Your insights will help others who are planning to travel soon or who are presently outside and planning to return.
Exactly. Also, have you ever traveled home and faced any surprises at the airport? Did you get sent to secondary screening, or were you asked unexpected questions? We'd love to hear your experience in the comments.
Now, if you found this video helpful, don't forget again to like, share, and subscribe. As an African immigrant in the U.S., you probably have heard a lot about these changing immigration policies. In our last video, 10 smart moves for African immigrants facing U.S. policy changes, we discussed practical steps to stay ahead and protect your future, protect yourself. If you haven't seen it yet, be sure to check it out. The link will pop up somewhere above here. See you there.